Everybody knows Rocky Balboa, correct? Yeah. Rocky once said, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. So again, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get hit and keep what? Have you ever felt that you're lost, you're frustrated, your confidence was shaken and broken down, and asked yourself, why the hell I can't be successful now? Anybody had this feeling? This is exactly what I felt when I transitioned from corporate to becoming an entrepreneur and running my own business. In corporate, I was at the top of my career. Top executive of a multinational company, ex-CMO of a tech giant, having $3 billion turnover, managing 600 people, being recognized nationally and internationally. And I was also awarded by the country president. And I remember very well, it was an amazing job. And every time I pass and I see myself in the mirror, I was proud of that man looking back at me. And I thought, and I knew, as I crushed it in corporate, the way I did it, if I left and I started my entrepreneurship journey, started my company, I will do exactly the same. But absolutely, I was wrong. In corporate, there are processes, systems, structured, everything is laid down, roadmaps, forecasts, talents. But in own business or even family business, it was a totally different ballgame, and I started to struggle. No culture, no process, no roadmaps, no structures, talents, middle, a lot of ideas, zero execution. The team is just a group of people scattered with their own agendas. So I started to struggle. I started to feel lost. And I became super overwhelmed with the number of things that I had to do. And I remember the moment exactly that one day I woke up in the middle of the night and I went to the bathroom. And I look in the mirror. I see a guy that I don't know. A guy that lost his confidence, doubtful, fearful, helpless. I couldn't recognize that man. I couldn't recognize myself. And the point is, that guy whispered to me and said, Saif, maybe it's not for you. Go back to corporate. And I got super angry. And a voice inside of me just started to say, like, how come you talk to me like this? And I got angrier as I remembered my family, especially my mother, and the loved ones that rely on me. I don't want to put them down. And at the same time, I don't want to quit. And I don't want to label myself as a quitter. But what's going wrong? I was successful before. Why I can't be successful now? I felt so disconnected from that man in the mirror. So there was a vase next to me. I took the vase and bam, I broke the mirror. And that was a defining moment for me, breaking the mirror. Not because I broke the mirror. I needed to break the man in the mirror. And I said to myself, if I did it before, I'll do it again. I hired the best coaches, the best mentors. I took my personal and professional skills to another level. I learned from the best, and I practiced hands-on. I learned and I applied, I learned and I applied. And I fell down, and I stood back up and reapproached totally life that knocked me down. But I stood up, and I kept moving forward. Few years after, I managed to grow the business 10 times, increase the number of operating offices by 5 times, and the industries that we operate in by 4 times. Why I'm saying this to you? Because here is the thing. It's either you hit rock bottom already, or you're going to hit it anyways. That is life and business. That's a roller coaster. But if I did it, I am sure everyone can do it. And that's why we're here to support each other in such a summit. And again, as Rocky Balboa said, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you get hit and... No, the energy, and love it. So what I'm going to talk about today is three things. The alpha mindset. I'm going to talk about the warnings. When you try to do something different, something new, and you want to go with your purpose, your passion, I need to give you a couple of warnings. And I'm going to talk about my vision and view about goals and the why. So you're ready? So I'll start off with a couple of myths. Why people can't be more successful. Couple of myths. The first one, a lot of us, we're all the same. We talk about the past. My past is hard. Every single person sitting next to you now have a hard past in a way or another. Our past is not a problem. As if you're in the gym, the muscle grows from stress and strain. Correct? Stress and strain. So to build the muscles or the pain or the past that you have, it builds the muscles, not the wounds. So it's not your past. You're with me on this? Yeah. A lot of people talk about the knowledge. We live in an era that knowledge is everywhere. We talk about this, he went to Harvard, Cambridge, XYZ. But it's not about the knowledge anymore. It's about what you do with the knowledge that you learn. It's not about the path, it's how about walking the path. So we are in the seminar like this, a summit. We're taking knowledge, act on it immediately. The blessings. How many of us write the goals every single year? Tens of goals, put it in the drawer, end of the year, we didn't achieve. We all pass through this. Yes or not? How many goals we didn't achieve? A lot. So it's not about the goals. This is why, because we have bugs in our system. And our system is our mindset. Number one, we have emotional weakness. We are wired. We are wired in a way that back in the days, we didn't know if we're going to survive for the next day. We're walking among our tribe, maybe a lion, a tiger comes out, eat us. So we always want instant gratification. We want everything now. But to win in the modern era now, you need to have emotional control. And we a little bit lazy. I am lazy outside of my goals. Lazy. Everybody, when he finishes his goal, everybody turns back to his natural tendencies. All the role models that we see in front of us, they act exactly the same. We return to the natural tendency. And somehow we lack discipline. Discipline is the key to achieving your goals and objectives. We love to start. Anybody gets the idea, then next day we're starting, but we don't finish. Who faced this? Because I faced a lot. Who faced this? Yeah. We love to start, but we rarely finish. There is two different mindsets. One is the hair mindset, and the turquoise mindset. The hair mindset tells you, here are all the good results fast, due to the social media and what we see around us. But success takes time. Nobody looks back at the kitchen. So you started something, and you don't get the results. And what you do? You jump into the next thing. You quit, and you go to the next trend. But you don't give it the time, so again, you stop it, you quit. But the problem here is what? We label ourselves as quitters. And that's the problem. Though the turquoise mindset, success and to achieve your goal needs a couple of more steps ahead. Just keep pushing. Anybody knows the success cycle? The success cycle is a great tool you can use to achieve anything you want. The success cycle has 4 boxes. It starts with the belief, the certainty about something, and then it goes to your potential, then the action, then the results. Let's say Saif wants to run a marathon. And Saif, the whole day, is sitting on the couch watching Netflix and decided to run a marathon. I would say that my belief or certainty to finish a marathon will not be so big. I don't do anything. So once my belief and certainty is at that level low, I won't tap my full potential. Am I correct? I won't tap. I don't believe it myself. You're with me on that, right? So if I don't tap my full potential, I won't take the best action, the top action. And when I don't take the best action, the results will be low. And then my mind will come and tell me, look, Saif, I told you, you won't be able to run a marathon. And it spirals down. The certainty will go down. I will tap less potential, take less action, and the results will be weaker and weaker. And that's the concept behind why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But if I believe in myself, I have certainty that I'm gonna run a marathon, I will tap the best potential, do the best action, get the best results, and I'm gonna spiral up. Anybody knows Roger Bannister, the 4-minute mile? At that time, by all medical research, human body cannot run a mile less than 4 minutes. And that was the belief, that was the certainty. Nobody could do that. But he did it. He broke it. And you know the best thing that it's not only he broke it, the best thing that in the next 2 years, 37 people did the same. Because what? The belief and the certainty was affected in that. So if everyone wants to achieve anything, start with your belief, with your certainty. Take picture of that. That's an extremely important one. Clement Stone, a self-made billionaire. He co-wrote Think and Grow Rich. Anybody knows this guy? Yeah. This guy contributed his wealth just to one single phrase. Anybody can guess it. And a lot of the speakers spoke about this thing. Anybody could guess. He contributed his whole wealth to just one phrase. No guesses? No, let me hear. What did he say? You can grow rich. I love that. A word. So it's belief. It was do it now. He kept repeating it 100 times a day. Do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. Exiting elevator, going up, going down. I just do it now. It's speed. One of the main things that I believe that contributed to where I am right now is that I developed a skill that whatever everybody's thinking, preparing, I already did it. Did an action, made a couple of mistakes, learned from it, and I moved next. That is speed, how it's important. A lot of speakers spoke about that. So we need to upgrade our mindset. We need to upgrade our operating system. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to warn you. We all sit here, or we all come here today because we want to develop. We want to maybe do something different. But you need to be warned, because this is one of the scariest rides you're going to have. You're going to question your decision. You might regret it. You might doubt it. But the point is, if I warned you about it, and when you face it, you will say, Saif told us. It's going to give you a bit of support. And one of the biggest mistakes that we do, and I did a lot of that, when I have something I want to do new, different, outside of my comfort zone, I get super excited and I share it with everyone around me. And I expect everyone be excited as me. And absolutely not. Who had this in his life? Super excited about something, and when you share it, everybody's silent. And the problem here it is, we are stepping out of the herd. When you step out of the herd, people won't like it. 90% of people live in their comfort zone. When we start to live outside, we want to move outside of that, people won't like it. So the warning number one, you will be attacked. Do you know how they take the crabs from the bottom of the ocean? How they get the crabs out? Yeah. So they get a net, they put a bait, they lower the net to the bottom of the ocean. So a crab passing by sees the bait, it jumps into the net, starts to eat. Another crab passes by, jumps in, so on and so forth. Then another one sees as if there is a party inside, so it jumps in to eat as well. And then the bait is finished. A single crab tries to get out of the net. It tries to get out. The other crabs will pull the crab down. If it's persisted, it will try to break. And if it persisted more, will kill the crab. But we as humans, we have much powerful things rather than breaking an arm, killing. What do we have? We have sarcasm. You think you'll do it? Who you are, correct? So I want you to be aware of the crabs, because these crabs can be your friends, your colleagues, your family, the people you're sleeping with at night. And it's actually not about you. It's about them. Again, you're leaving the comfort zone. It's about them. Because you demonstrate to them they're not courageous enough as you to take this step. And as well, you don't give them one important thing that everybody relies on: excuses. When they see the people on leaders on magazine covers, they have an excuse to it. His family, he has the money. But if you left, there is no excuse anymore. So it's not about you, it's about them. So how did I cure my crabs? I had a lot of crabs. But it's very simple. Let's say that Saifs pop off from Earth, dead today. How many people do you expect will come to my funeral and really cry for Saif, really care? Really care, cry. Like what, 10 people? And let's say, for example, the weather was disaster. Hurricane, nothing is good. So how many people will come? Out of 10, 5? So why should I care so much about people's opinion where I know at the end of the day, a handful full of people will actually care? So my rule, no cry, no care. Warning number 2, and that's a moment of awareness. I was always asking myself, I love to reflect, why I'm not more successful? Because I was trying to please everyone. I was trying to be liked. But one of the most powerful people on earth, let's say the US president, he wins 51-49, which means if he enters the room, 51 will like him, 49 will not like him. Though, Saif back then, if he entered the room, because he was a people pleaser, 99.9999% will love Saif, like. You need to know, if you're liked by every single person, you're not doing a great work. Because when you're doing a change, you're making turbulence. Some people will not like it. And you will be laughed at. When I was in high school, I was a sports addict. I was a national team of Kung Fu. So I didn't study at all. And by that time, I had a cousin similar to my age. And I used to study with her before the exam just to make me pass. And I remember the moment, exactly a defining moment for me, that I was studying with her, and my aunt came in. And she told me, and she looked at her daughter and told her, "Why you're studying with this idiot?" I love her to my bones. She's my second mother. But this statement came to my heart. An idiot. People will tell you you're lazy. People will tell you sometimes you're stupid. You're a loser. Another one. Before I left Egypt, I'm originally from Egypt. Before I left Egypt, I was hunted by Samsung Electronics for a program called Global Leadership Program. They were collecting people from across the region. They would take one, send them to South Korea, do the MBA, the program, work in headquarters. So I went to the interview, and at that time, I was working in a telecom operator. When I went to the interview, I was sitting 15 people from different countries around me, and I was looking at my watch. I work. I need to go back to office. So I asked, hey, when is my interview starting? So the lady looked at me back and said, like, where are you from? So I said, I'm from Egypt. So she looked at me back and said, no worries, you can go. Egyptians are lazy. And I was like, what the heck? All these people around me were talking to me like this. The thing is, you will be labeled a lot, but it's always in me to say, watch me. Just watch me. I would love really to get their email addresses and tell them where I am right now. That's the answer. Watch me. Thank you. Albert Einstein was considered slow. Thomas Edison was considered retarded. Richard Branson was considered stupid or lazy, and his head teacher said, you're either gonna be in prison or you're gonna end up a millionaire. A prison and a millionaire. And he proved her wrong on both. He's not in prison and he's not a millionaire. He's a billionaire. So you get the last laugh. My philosophy about goals, which is very important. For me, goals are not enough. Absolutely not enough. It's a direction, but it's not enough. Let's say winners and losers have the same goals. Olympians go to the Olympic to get the medal, win and lose. So goals can be a differentiator, cannot be a differentiator. And why is that? Because for me, goals delay life and taking responsibility. Because you work on an assumption or an excuse, I'm not gonna be happy now until I reach my goal. When I reach my goal, I'm gonna be happy. That's a lie. Or you give yourself an excuse that I'm stressed while I'm getting to work, I'm overwhelmed, but once this finished, I'm gonna be okay. An absolute lie. We live from a lie to a lie. So a goal, another goal, so misery. The second thing, goals has a yo-yo effect. Everybody knows the yo-yo, right? What do I mean by a yo-yo? It means you're disciplined when you're trying to get the goal, but once the goal is done, you revert back. Which means you're gonna be yo-yoing with what? With your business, you're gonna yo-yoing with your relationship, you're gonna be yo-yoing with your fitness. Always yo-yoing. So goals, and this type, part of the goals, is not good for the long-term results. And as well, goals don't institute change. In order to reach what you want, you need to change. And goals alone doesn't make you change, because change happens at a system level. You need to change the system in order to achieve the goals. So how can we do that? Let's say you're here, a gladiator, an alpha, and you want to reach your goal. There are habits, decisions, behavior that you must do consistently. And that's the system that you need to follow. Habits, behavior, system. That's every single day, day in, day out, you have to perform. But you need a type of motivation to keep you going. Everybody say, from where, Saif, you get your motivation? From where you get your energy? It's not a willpower. Some days I have mood, some days I'm off mood. It is because my why power, and everybody knows the why, the power of the why, right? But does everyone knows how to get his why? With showing me hands, everybody knows his why exactly or not? Amazing. I'll share with you 5 things that you can try to find your why, because every single morning I wake up in the morning, I look at my why, and that gives me the drive. The first one is self-identity. Among us, there are people that their self-identity is very important. They just want to win. It's a number game. Winning. I want to be the top position, the head of the tribe. And a lot of people work for more recognition rather than monetary things. So this is type number 1. Type number 2, family. I fall partly in this. We do a lot for our family and beloved ones more than we do for ourselves. So that's number 2. Number 3, contribution. This is the type of people they want to give. And a great example of that is Carnegie. When Carnegie was dead and they opened his grave, they found a yellow paper. And in this yellow paper, it was written 2 things. First part of my life, I will accumulate wealth. The second part of my life, I will give it away. That's contribution. That's what he worked for. And a great example is Andre Agassi. Who knows Andre Agassi? Amazing, number 1. The guy was number 1 tennis, super number 1 by far. Then bottom, drugs, then again number 1. The pattern is amazing. When they ask Agassi, have you ever wanted to be number 1 tennis player? He said, absolutely not. I didn't want. And that was the moment when he was using drugs. And then the one thing happened. He started to build schools for kids. When he started to build schools for kids, tennis became the means to fund his purpose and mission. And then he became number 1 again. His why was driven by contribution. The 4th one is revenge, in a good way. And I also come from this school. A lot of great achievers had dysfunctional backgrounds, which ignited their passion towards their goals. We talked about Richard Branson. Steve Jobs, absolutely abandoned by his family. He wanted to prove his worth in a revenge way. Oprah Winfrey. Everybody knows Oprah Winfrey, correct? She was fired from TV because she was unfit. That thing awakened the beast in Oprah. That was her why. Revenge. The last is disgust. You know, there is a day that happens into your life that you stop, you pause, and you say, I had it. I'm not going to live like this anymore. Anybody had this? Back in the days, when I was still a man, I asked a family member, I want this. I got a reply, why you want it? At that day, I promised myself, I'm not going to ask again. I did everything possible, and I kept my promise that I will never ask again. I had it. So today, it could be an amazing, beautiful day that you could come and say, I had enough. I'm not going to live like this again. Because disgust can really change your life. So by raising hands, who thinks he falls in the self-identity? I just want to see self-identity. Okay. Family. Amazing. Contribution. Wow. Revenge. And disgust. Lovely. Of course, you can have part of them. But the point is, all of them, in Arabic we say, MashaAllah. Yeah. You can have all of them, but the point is, put it clear in front of you. Every single morning I look at them. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Dariush, thank you very much.